nothing. No rune control, no backup, no way to gank this TA early. OG putting all their attention onto this storm, understanding what Kiyotaka can do with a runaway game, and just ensuring it's not going to come out.
Look at him. Look at this Doom. He hasn't left. This mid lane, Seb is still standing there, and all he's doing is walking in a mana burning Kiyotaka. This bottom lane, I realize there is action going on. It seems like there'll be no kills to happen. Seb is still middle lane. Look at this. Kiyotaka is not being left alone. Seb is waiting with mana burn, waiting for him to come back for these stacks, so he can keep abusing Kiyotaka. And if Seb somehow finds a way to solo kill Kiyotaka, I will not believe my eyes. Because he's looking for a way to do it. He'll get some vision down. This is very high impact play from Seb. Like, they know the Storm can't contest the TA mid lane, and Seb is literally making it impossible to catch up by taking stacks. This is really smart gameplay from Seb.
This is crazy. Forward wards as well to spot out that top jungle. Just handling the mid. You know the Storm's going to be the big issue here. Their control is down to pretty much
bottom though. Bottom. They are going for a chase. Nice rotation from Solo. Uragi finally going to go down. They might find Solo on the Oracle, and eventually they will. Meanwhile, mid lane though, Kiyotaka, he's still level 4. They'll just chase him down. Oh, Seb. Bottom lane, they're still going. Still trying to find Tiger. They might get him eventually. But Seb's coming. Big old Seb is coming, John. I don't know if you want to mess with this guy right now. This post-4 Doom is setting up everything for his team. They will brambles up Miero. Scorched Earth in 5 if he wants to pop that. Uragi does not have it. He did have a dagger, but just lacked the vision. Seb is still chasing. Miero is going to be somewhat cautious, but seems like he's going to be okay. And the smart thing about this rotation, John, is OG are now in position to take the 7-minute Wisdom Rune on the Dire side if they want to.
And they can sneak forward if they want. They find a freebie on Taurus once more.
Oh, Miero, he's out of mana. Seb is diving tier 1 towers as a level 3 position 4 Doom, and he's getting away with it as Tiger's going to head towards the right side. He'll go after the 7-minute Wisdom Rune. Meanwhile, Miero is still not safe. In the meantime, BZM is literally soloing Kiyotaka, who's still yet to hit level 6 at almost 7 minutes in. This game is looking like a real wash right now, John, from OG's end, because they are just not backing off. They continue with the brambles out on Miero. It's just complete chaos. This is literally classic OG. They just play a game and you just don't understand what game you're playing anymore.
Yeah. And the forward vision to give the pickoffs onto Kiyotaka.
They got both wisdoms.
Getting both wisdom runes for that aggressive movement out. There's just nothing 9Pandas can do. And now Miero. Oh boy.
This is disgusting. This is a revolting game from him. I'll tell you right now, like, Tiger might die here. Tiger, stick charges and Shadow Realm are available. Sadly, he won't have the mana for the TP though, but he is buying even more time. He'll try to turn back around. Miero will back and that'll be it. He'll get the kill onto Tiger. All that was for a position 5 Dark Willow. Meanwhile, mid lane, BZM now level 8 compared to the level 5 of Kiyotaka. And just look at Seb. Like, leave him. Seb, he doesn't need your help. He doesn't need it. Or does he? The chase is on now. The TA's in trouble. BZM's gonna go for a run. Can they actually deal with this man? Ramses has got the Omni, but Refraction's up in 1 second. He might have the time. They'll go for the spin instead. BZM gonna try and juke his way out. The TPs are incoming. The Brambles won't know it will land, but the Omni's there with the Mel strike. BZM is still trying to get his way out, but eventually Ramses will find the kill. But are you telling me this is still Dota, John? Tiger?
No.
Tiger's gonna get spun on now. Tiger should be dead. Ramses will eventually claim his life. A double kill for the Jug.
It's a big win for Ramses. Again, it's pretty reminiscent of how Game 1 went. The Jug having to show up early to make these fights, this time without the Battle Fury even. Just understanding he has to relieve some pressure in the game. The map pressure being applied by OG, quite overwhelming. At the very least, you get a little bit of bounce back with your Jug, but your Storm is just dead in the water. Kiyotaka has nothing. He's going for Midas here, Mike. He needs that catch-up.
I mean, I don't mean to make matters worse. He got stunned by the Ogre Smasher, John. The Ogre Bruiser. It happens, John. It does happen, but not when you're this far behind. It doesn't. You know, no use looking across the map right now, Kiyotaka. Just look at the creeps. So that's all that matters to you at the moment. Like, he's still level 6. Trying to get towards that Falcon Blade and finally does have it. Meanwhile, bottom lane, Miero does push in the bottom tier 1 tower. Seb's messing around in the Dire Triangle for some apparent reason. He'll go for a run, but the thing is, in the meantime, top lane, they found the storm again. Kiyotaka, he'll go for a zip in, but BZM's waiting right there for him. He judges the distance. He judges the distance, and Seb is running. Seb is still running. Oh, he's got help on the way. He'll die. But they might find a bit of a trade here as Antares is going to get slowed up. They've got a double, it seems like. Solo's been caught. He'll go for a Fortune's End, but BZM has more traps available. Slows him up into the tier 2 tower. BZM having just the cleanest game of his life. As they will find the Oracle. And in case you were wondering, in fact, hold that thought, because Kiyotaka, he's feeling a little bit spicy here, John, but it may cost him his own life. He'll find Tiger, but he needs to get out. He'll be okay.
Oh, God.
But Seb's impact, John, I'm telling you, these little plays he's making, like the distraction play in the Dire Triangle, making them chase him across the map, while Kiyotaka's just casually dying on the top lane as the storm. BZM, meantime, they'll get the sentry down, they'll pop the roar out, the TA is not dropping. Here comes DM, he'll get the vac wall off. There's 3 targets caught in that. Kiyotaka forced to zip out. Miero, he will not be so lucky. He's gone. Tiger, in the meantime, surged up. Kiyotaka, he's already out of mana. Oh, they terrorize him. And you know what, John? They are literally terrorizing him. This is a violation. OG are violating 9Pandas right now. That's what's happening.
I don't understand. Like this obs ward that Seb dropped early on in that cliff spot by the top jungle. It was never dewarded. It expired.
Ramses
and
Seb almost got a Doom off. I think Ramses was not expecting to be level 7 already, but he is.
I don't understand. Like, it was pinged out by Kiyotaka in his first death in that area from from BZM, and they didn't do anything. They didn't deward. They didn't manage to
be a big one. Mystic Flare out. They've got BZM. That's a huge kill. 9Panda's still finding ways to find these pickoffs, and to be absolutely fair, you do have Vortex into Mystic Flare. So you can practically kill anyone off the map right now as 9Pandas. You do have some comeback potential here for Kiyotaka. That's good news.
He's catching up a little bit. All things considered, you know, he's only about 200 gold behind Yuragi. So that's a good sign for that Storm. The fact that at least one of the core is also suffering, which means the power balance between these two teams isn't too far apart. You're getting a ton of good space out for Ramses, going back to that Yasha probably into the Manta, as per usual for Jug. And again, you've got more impact coming out from Miero, even with just split push with the help of the Dom into the Overlord. So you're going to be able to do a lot more. Just hold off in that early tempo that OG's prepping up here.
Seb's waiting in the way. Kiyotaka, he's going to take the bait, but the Doom's out. It was all a bait. You can see it from a mile away. Kiyotaka, he's going to have to be the victim. Blink up on Seb. 12.5 minutes in. The guy that's been roaming the map as Doom is now almost level 8 with the blinker. Is he playing offlane or support, John? I'm not even sure anymore.
He's definitely still that support. Just a massive impact on that pause 4. Not even a flashy place, just running around, getting the distractions out. At least for 9Pandas, they're not falling for the bait too hard. Perhaps Kiyotaka, you know, he seemed a little bit tired in lobby chat. Just a little bit of a sneak peek there. There was talk about hot tubs. There's talk about sleep. Perhaps some of that seeping in here for Kiyotaka.
Kiyotaka's going to find Tiger. Tiger's actually the one getting aggressive, but does need to find a way out now. So Zip's going to be there from Kiyotaka. This should be a freebie. The Terrorize is going to land, buying even more time now for the Dark Willow. Still, they'll try again. They'll make the jump in. Ramsey's even going to show up on the right side, as Tiger eventually does go for the Shadow Realm once again, but it's not going to be enough. So Ramsey's picking up his 3rd kill of the game now, but bottom lane, Miero is going to go down. They'll find a Beastmaster. At least Ramses, though, is forcing in the tier 1 mid-town. And he is top of the net worth board as the Jug, so he's having a very good game.
Yeah, a lot better than game 1. Given the space he needs, taking these safer fights to join in, rather than the massively risky fights that 9Pandas were forced to go into. He's got that scaling lined up. Again, your big issue right now for side of OG is you need a ton of space for Yuragi. Even when his lane went fairly okay with all those kills and pressure onto Miero, the spec is just not the quickest farmer, even with a blade mail up. So it's going to take a lot of time to stall here And you're also still needing a little bit more
Kiyotaka.
farm on BZM.
Kiyotaka's gonna enjoy this one. He's gonna enjoy that one. There goes Seb. They'll find him out. Seb was trying to go back for his wisdom rune, but will pay for it with his life. OG immediately just going up towards the top lane, trying to see if they can find Kiyotaka. Instead, though, it's just going to be Untardis. BZM, though, will accept the kill. Untardis just has no chance of survival. OG still in a pretty strong position. 2k advantage their way. The saving grace right now is the fact that Ramses is top of the net worth board on the jug, though, for 9Pandas.
Yeah. Doing quite a fair bit with that space. And Jug's going to scale up nicely into mid-game tempo here. So you kind of want to keep that pace up. The issue is BZM is now ready to play. Blink and Dragonlance, he's more than ready to look for these pickoffs and softer supports. And once the Desolator's up, Roshan, it's going to be a very real possibility for OG. The 9Pandas might not be ready to kind of deal with. That should line up with Miero's Overlord. So you could try to pressure into some tier 2s, maybe start to clear out the other tier 1s on mid and top. But yeah, you will have to watch that TA. Again, it doesn't feel like you have the smoothest answers, although with a Sky, the combination does feel a lot stronger, but you have a lot to worry about with just the Blink Doom being up, the Vac Wall still being a big factor here from DM, who's also farming up into his auras very nicely here. Again, this is a much more playable position for 9Pandas, but they can't just coast their way into late game as well. Not up against the Spectre and Doom. Even the TA, there's a lot of scaling.
Bit of a setup here top lane, but 9Pandas, or they'll say BZM, they might not be able to say no to this one. BZM, let's get a blink away. Now Tiger gonna move back in. Does get the Terrorize off onto the Oracle, though Solo is still looking rather healthy with the Fate's Edict. So now Tiger, the one in danger, looking to back his way out, does eventually go down. BZM, he's still trying to move on forward. In fact, he's getting a lot of damage off now as Ryuragi comes in from the right side. Kiyotaka, he's out of mana. He'll mango up in the end. And in fact, I believe that was Untardis that gave him that mana to allow him to get back towards the fountain. But it will mean his own life. So quick thinking from the Skyrath, who I do believe gave him the mangoes to be able to have that mana.
Just giving a little bit more space out. Does get the save with the False Promise running on him as well. Not quite enough damage flying out there from BZM. Looks like they could attempt Roche, but BZM is just porting elsewhere. A little bit too early without that SO up. Going hunting further.
They could find Ramses. He's top of the net worth board right now. He's a big one. TP's coming to the outpost. Keep in mind, Seb has the blink. If they have any vision over Ramses, he's as good as dead. Ramses gonna get spotted now. Instead, they'll jump solo, but there's your stun out. Oh, they've got the jug. DM immediately hands the tip over, knowing what he's done. Perfect setup here from Seb. Finding 2 for their trouble. Seb's just going for more. Just keeping up the vision. They'll see the Beastmaster too close to the tier 2 tower, so they'll leave him be. That's a perfect setup, though, from our Doom, right onto the jug. Zero hesitation.
You can see again the understanding OG has of what 9Pandas wants to do. They know where Ramses wants to farm. They know what areas he's not in with their movement out. A bit of a jump up top, though.
Yeah, nice Mystic Flare. But you do have the pipe up here on DM, and he's got the hand up. He's feeling cocky now. Kiyotaka, not quite out of mana yet. Needs to avoid the vacuum of DM, who does not go for it. Meanwhile, Seb has found himself a target. It's going to be Untardis on the Skyrath. Roshan, not feeling nice enough today. BCM will take his life, as well as Roshan's life, it seems.
Yep. And even without the full Deso, they've got the kills they need to kind of look for this Rosh now. Melt strikes are up, damage and not highest. They can sustain through this. 9Pandas. And they can get some vision out with the Hawks, but they're a little bit too far here on Miero. Looks like it's going to be another freebie coming out here for OG, and Pandas, all they can do is sit back and farm. Hope that Ramses hits this point with the Butterfly where he can start to deal with some of these issues. They've got the full Overlord from Miero. They could look for a little bit of power pressure in exchange for that Rosh.
If you want something, well, they might even find Tiger, who's trying to get through to the Twin Gates. He will make it out just in the nick of time. Roshan is still up. 9Pandas, they are coming. The creeps are here, but Roshan is down. It's too late. Miero will immediately look to leave the building, but the traps did scout out the Beastmaster's presence. So they know that with the TA traps, he is there. But he does have friends around. G not going to bother trying to go for a bit of a jump onto the Beastmaster, I don't think. Though Tiger, still hanging around, but does keep his distance. Meanwhile, bottom, Ramses and Uragi kind of going at it a little bit. fighting over the neutral camp, but are going to leave it. However, Ramses does need to be a little bit cautious, because there's 4 heroes suddenly from OG that are looking to make a jump in. Silence is there, yet Ramses will have Solo right behind him with the false promise. So he'll play a little bit more on the edge.
Oh, it's Seb.
Meanwhile, Seb has been caught, so you don't have to worry about the Doom now. The 9Pandas, they might actually want to try and force something bottom lane, knowing that the Doom is down. It seems like for now, though, Ramses, he'll just accept the farm that he has down at this area.
Just keep building up. Still maintaining a decent lead here on the juggle, though not that wide with him and BZM. BZM, with the Aegis, with full Deso up. You have to watch yourself on these supports. The Oracle's the big one to find out, but even a nice kill into the sky would be massive, although the Ghost Scepter is up now for Antares from the Courier. Be able to save himself from some of that physical burst coming out. 22 to 13, but again, a much stronger position for 9Pandas in comparison to Game 1. Relative to that, like Miaro has stacks, they haven't been able to snipe out these stacks as much. And Seb's still a massive threat on that Doom, but it's been mitigated to an extent. 9Pandas playing a lot more conservatively and just waiting for their own spikes, waiting for Ramses to become this unstoppable jug, waiting for Kiyotaka to have his Sanj up with his Kaya for a little bit more forward presence here on the Storm. And all things considered, the recovery for Kiyotaka has been pretty on point. He was bottom net with core, now he's not. He's above Yuragi. The Spectre's not given as much space as you'd want, although with Radiance up, that can change very fast. Not even just the farm, just the presence from these haunts can be a little bit overwhelming at this point.
It's certainly very annoying to have to try and play against. Even, like, just the Skywrath Oracle, they're not going to have a very good time every time that Haunt's pop. Just the illusions themselves are just going to do so much damage to these two, and that's why they've got the Ghost Scepter already up on Antares. Mind you, obviously he can build into the Ethereal Blade for a bit more value later if he wants. It's like Solo's going to be going for a Glimmer Cape instead, just trying to protect himself that way. Bit of a quieter period now in this game too. 3k advantage still standing for OG. 9Pandas, though, more than happy to drag out this game, because Ramses is playing Jug, and Jug is one of those carries right now that can scale very effectively into the late game. Like, Ramses is getting rather close now to his Butterfly. Once the Butterfly is up, it's already queued up a Lincoln Sphere after that, and suddenly you are looking pretty damn strong as this Juggernaut, I'd say. Unless OG catches you out right now down at this bottom lane, but he's nowhere near.
You've smoked up on OG. Good ward to just spot the TA kind of farming by herself. Should give a rough idea. As they are taking the Tormentor, not going to be punished for it.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
The Tormentor gone. Top lane, they're looking at Yuragi. They've got the level 2 Mystic Flare, so they've got plenty of damage to try and go after the Spectre. They won't catch him out. Meanwhile, Dire Triangle, OG, they're the ones to make the jump in. Solo's going to get caught. They've got an Oracle kill for themselves as Yuragi's trying to chase after the Jug. But Ramsey's obviously going to be the much harder target to chase down. We'll be just fine. Now take the Oracle kill, and maybe even stick around for the bottom tier 2 tower while they're at it.
Get a little bit of push going in, and with its Deso weapon BCM, it doesn't take too long to melt these objectives. To be able to equalize from this pressure coming up top with Kiyotaka, who's not the fastest pusher. Surprised he's decided to just take over this part of the map. Be looking for a slow trickle of a response here from OG to punish.
Tiger. Vortex is out. They caught the Dark Willow. Meanwhile, Seb also being omnied up by Ramses does not get stunned up. He'll get the spin in time. So one already down. Tiger surviving. Does get the Terrorize. And now Kiyotaka. Oh, he gets double rooted. Not the fight you really wanted for 9Pandas. They get a much better trade on OG. 9Pandas once again just kind of forced to retreat. Though I say retreat, Solo and Ramses are still sticking around in that dire jungle. It's like the traps are going to slow up this Oracle. Solo is just going to Fortune's end it off. And he'll just walk away.
And just to bail out of a dicey position. The Aegis does expire now on OG, so you've done a great job of on-mind Pandas to just avoid this big spike from BZM. They've not been able to take off more on the map than I think they'd like. Tier 2 mid still standing, Tier 2 top still standing. Still a lot of space coming out here for Ramses. Butterfly almost completed now on the Jug as well. and leading into that level 18 mark, where the Omni Slash starts to feel really painful with that added duration. 0.25 doesn't sound like much, but considering how Omni scales, with the butterfly up, it's going to be a massive spike for Ramsey. More presence coming out here.
Yeah, chases onto Tiger. Tiger's got help incoming. Here comes BZM. Solo surviving a little bit longer. But will not survive for long. Reign of Destiny only going to do so much to keep him alive there. The 9Pandas still on the retreat, still just trying to buy more time for their jug. You've got some other decent core items coming up soon as well, like the Heaven's Halberd on Miera is a good one against the TA, that's for sure. Problem is, like, it's a bit of a struggle trying to find that kind of farm at the moment off this map as top lane. Jump is there onto the Spectre, but he is just not dying. Uragi, he literally killed Antares with just reflecting damage. Kiyotaka still trying, might actually kill himself here. Oh, and he can't do it.
Shame you couldn't back up what you were saying.
Uragi literally just popped Blade Mail. And the Skyrath died, and he survives.
Yeah, it's a Spectre. You know, you're reaching that point where Spectre's going to have all those stats up, has all the HP to tank through a lot of damage. And that's him without any sort of big stat padding as well on strength. You know, that's without the Manta, that's without the Ags. That's just going to be a scaling problem for 9Pandas to try to deal with down the line. No one that naturally builds into a break here either. Perhaps the Hex coming out from Kiyotaka can start to help the cause, but again, still a long ways off from that. Full Butterfly up for Ramses now, and that impact with Omnisash can be felt. The issue is finding the fight they'd want to take here on the side of 9Pandas. And they're playing under where they've got Vision, playing around that bot jungle quite nicely. OG now looking for the shove in up top. They've got the push potential to come true. They've got DM working onto his Ags. Once that normal punches up, just punch up the spin TP on the Jug's not going to be as effective. A Jug Illusion is going to do a lot of work here as well, considering all that farm, so a lot to be worried about.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Yep, OG. Miero. Gonna move in, Ramses, Kiyotaka, they're all setting up. Tiger, he'll get the vision, they'll jump in. Seb, he's got the Doom out. He found the Beastmaster. Kiyotaka's desperately trying to control them up, but it's no good. OG have got full control of this team fight. It is not looking great for 9Pandas as the Omni Slash does bounce around. Everyone shares the damage. Chase is on. They've already found one in Miero. Trap Slow is out onto the jungler. Ramses is still running out of there, but Seb, he will have other plans. Stuns him up, walks away. They'll try to chase down the Doom, but Seb is fine. Oof. Ramses barely getting out. Just barely. Though I can't say the same for Kiyotaka. John, look at this. Seb, leave him alone. Seb, Kiyotaka, completely out of mana. Looks like he's going to be able to make it.
Slips away the sliver of HP, but massive win once more for OG. Like, that's 9Pandas showing off what Ramses has as well. Just not enough. The illusions are made with a wall. Damage is spread. Spectre too tanky as well to deal with right now.
I mean, you give props to... In fact, hold that thought, because Tiger's currently being chased down. Zip forward from Kiyotaka is what I was meant to say. So they do get Tiger. Better say Kataomi for a moment there, John. So Tiger does go down, but I was going to give my props to Tiger for that last fight, because he walked in with the Shadow Realm to get the vision and break the smokes out, as Kiyotaka is going to jump in again onto BZM. This will be the big target if they can get it, but can they stop the TP? No, they can't. They cannot. That's just depressing to watch.
Miero just outside of range for the roar. He was just maybe a millisecond earlier, gets the roar off. Find that kill. Would have been a massive one onto BZM, but they missed their shot. And OG, and dancing around the side of 9Pandas. 29-15. A much better game for 9Pandas, but OG still in control. They're kicking into that scaling point now for the Spectre. With a Manta up, with the Ags coming in. The supports are going to be cannon fodder to this hero, just looking for the solo pickoffs at that point. No breaks in sight either for the side of 9Pandas anytime soon. Let's see if they find openings. If they can start to pick off OG one by one, they can maybe, you know, catch out the Doom or the
BZM,
Dark Wolf.
mid lane, they've got the flare out. Oh, BZM, he's not taking enough damage. He just pops the BKB in the end, fights back against Kiyotaka, who does zip away. I don't think it would have been enough anyway, but that Vortex pulled him out in that last half a second of the Mystic Flare.
courier
Meanwhile,
has been killed.
bottom lane, Miero, gonna go for a TP play out, is probably just gonna make it. Mid lane,
Else out in the oh.
Tiger's going for a solo pick off here onto Antares, and he can do so. With the Bedlam up, it's no
Oh, you
problem.
thought you were winning?
Yeah. No, that is something Dark will excel at. Picking off these softer sports. One more.
Why not? Gonna cape out. Tiger, he doesn't care. He'll get the terrorize off. Another root out. And well, once BZM joins the picture, it's just lights out here for solo. Tough times again for 9Pandas here in this game too, as it's currently 31-15 with an 11k advantage for OG. And I'll tell you, like, while the first half of the day for OG was looking a bit rough, it seems like they're warming up. They're getting there.
They certainly are.
Is under attack.
And they still have a series after this as well, so just hoping that the momentum carries through for them. For 9Pandas, they're looking a little bit worse for wear. You know, they've played 2 series already. Again, coming into this one, they sounded pretty tired from the lobby chatter that we have managed to see. They do have Roche access right now. Got the vision with Miero, so they'll get started onto that objective. Try to get more going for themselves here. Got the level 20 talent up on Ramses as well. So if you can time these fights to use the False Promise onto the Jug in a dire situation, you can heal back to full with a good Omni Slash off. Scan is there from OG though, and they are grouped up for a smoke here.
Roshan. Not going to take very long here. Will be given freely the way of 9Pandas as OG are just not able to make it in time, but they might still go for a fight. Tiger has scouted out Kiyotaka. They've already silenced him up. Kiyotaka, he'll zip away in time. Then in goes Uragi into the backside, just bouncing all across the fight, looking for a good target. He hasn't found one yet. I think he was looking for Solo or Antares, but he won't get it. Meanwhile, Tiger, he does get caught first off. They've lost the Dark Willow as Ramses jumped in. DM's going to be the target. Meanwhile, Doom is committed from Seb onto the Beastmaster, as now they're going to the high ground. The Twin Gates is where they'll fight, trying to take down Solo. Solo dropping low, gets the False Promise in time. Will survive another day toward the south. DM somehow bouncing away, but no. He's going to drop here to Kiyotaka, as now the TA. BZM a bit vulnerable without the BKB up. Could be in a bit of danger as they could turn. BZM still trying to fight this one out with the side blades. It's not going to be enough. Onto Seb again, the Doom. We'll get Vortex here by Kiyotaka. They'll lock him down with the Fortune's End, but Lotus Orb is going to throw him back the other way. Seb will TP out. But 9Pandas, well, they won't find anything else. But it's a great team fight on their end of things.
Yeah, they managed to make it work this time around. Managed to kite the side of OG. OG just a little bit too slow to respond to that Roche. Very quick take from 9Pandas. They grouped up all the way from their base. It was a long walk into that pit. Good positioning as well from Kiyotaka to break off on that side of the portal, giving the high ground vision onto that movement from Taiga. Managed to get it done. And this is the big power spike for the Jug. Just having level 20 up means that you are still tied into Omni Slash, but even without it, you can sustain for yourself in the middle of these fights. And he's going for the Yags. With that Swift Slash up,
Radiant's bottom tower
less
is
downtime
under
for the
attack.
Jug. He can just join in these fights as he pleases and start to look for these big kills.
Solo just being chased by Spectral Illusions right now. Solo forced to mech up and pop the Fate's Edict to survive this, I think, is... He'll be okay, he'll survive. But that's the stage of the game it is for the Oracle now. You just can't deal with these illusions from the Spectre. 9Pandas going for that mid tier 2 tower. Already fine in the bottom tier 2. Looking for a big zip. Kiyotaka gonna spot out DM, but he'll get away with the Ogre Seal Totem. And that mid tier 2 tower is not gonna last. OG now on the back foot. There's 9Pandas looking to go high ground. The tier 3 tower will be the big target. And OG, they're the ones that have got to find a way to try and defend this. And it seems like the glyph might just be enough for now. But you do have another 2 minutes 20 on the Aegis up. So it seems as though Ramses, he's not done yet. He'll go for a little bit more. Can they doom the Jug? Preferably on the secondary life. We'll find out though. Tiger immediately just bursted down. Jump in. Seb, he's there. He'll doom out the Beastmaster instead. Omni Slash gonna bounce through. Seb should drop, but is still walking away. Uragi in the meantime. He'll go after Solo on the Oracle. Solo with the Glimmer Cape might survive, and in fact he will. He'll survive another day. Uragi is forced to back his way out. Meanwhile, Aurora has caught the TA. Miero with a perfect setup onto BZM. And now, well, with the Omni, Uragi, he's copying all of it. The Spectre, no way out, is gonna drop. Ramses
Buyback.
finding another, and yeah, no buyback. That's a problem for OG.
It's 2 racks.
It's a big problem.
It doesn't take too long. For all the damage you have here to get the gem as well. Taiga TP'd so far forward on his tier 3. Like that was not the position you wanted to TP into for that defense. Gets caught out. Instantly combo down from 9Pandas, and that fight opens up from there. And this Jug. I mean, your Spectre can last through a lot, but not through Omni Slash when isolated all alone.
They're going to try and slow things down with the normal punch of DM. They can try to harass Ramses away. There's a normal punch out. Seb's in with the stun as well. They'll get the terrorize on the Jug, but it's really just not enough. He's fine. He'll just use the healing ward and go back in as Kiyotaka from a mile away will zip forward. He does have the scythe device up, keep in mind on the storm, so it's very easy for him to pick somebody off now. As they will get the secondary racks. Ramses, he wants the tier 4 towers. He does not care about going through the top lane. There's still a tier 1 and tier 2 there. He just wants the tier 4s. There's one down. OG, how do you find a way to defend this? I mean, they've got to try. Somehow, some way. So far, so good. 9Panda's out of the Radiant base now. But they've got an Aghanim Scepter up on Ramses all of a sudden. It's just on the courier. He'll bring it out slowly but surely. And Omni Slash is back in 20. So that might be around the time you want to go back in.
Without the safety net of Aegis, it can be a big risk, but you've got a lot going here for the Jug. You've got the creep for the attack speed, the Ancient Thunderhide can give you that frenzy. Even more attacks coming out in that Omni Slash. Looking for someone.
Seb jumping in, trying his absolute best to find somebody, but the stun landed on nothing. He gets caught on the Doom. Seb is gone. BZM, knowing the Roar is down, feels safe, but no, the Swift Slash into the Omni Slash. It's a lot of damage on BZM. He is down. They have found a second. No buyback, at least on the Doom, as now TM gets caught out on the Darkseid. He's gone without buyback. And I believe the game might just be over. 9Pandas may have made the comeback happen.
You get it going. The Fate and Ramses again paying off here. Buyback forced out though.
Yeah, well, Swift Slash in onto the Spectre. Terrorize not going to come out of the side. The Vice locks him down. They are trying one last time. OG, can they actually defend this? The Ancient is alive, but Tiger is down. He'll buy back immediately, as they are still onto the Ancient. Ramses, he'll go for the spin into the right clicks onto the Ancient, but is forced to back as Uragi does horn forward, but does get the hell out of there immediately with that Shadow Step as the jump is back in again with the Omni. Ramsey's trying to go after BZM. They found him on the TA. He is gone. No buyback available. Seb now trying to jump back in. A roar out into the Spectre. Ramsey's, he's literally ignoring everybody and just going right for the Ancient. He's doomed up, but it doesn't matter because he's got his right clicks available. Everyone else being ignored. A vacuum back. 9Pandas, they won't care. They'll go after the Ancient. That'll be it. A draw will be how this series ends, 1-1. 9Pandas pulling off the Game 2 victory.